It's been a stop-start year for the heavy machinery sector so far this year, but equipped with the facts on how the market is performing moving forwards is Dennis Daniels, the editor of PMV Middle East. He joins me, Oscar Russo, for another episode of Construction Week in Focus. Dennis, how has the PMV sector performed so far this year? And for you, what are some of the key developments PMV has witnessed in the market?
Let me talk about two global megatrends.
Okay.
The first one is introduction of emission standards. Recently, Euro 4 was introduced in the UAE, but globally, markets have moved on to Euro 5 and 6 standards. And we're talking about Euro stage 4, 5, 6 standards and their equivalent EPA-tier standards in the US. They've been introduced for both on-road and off-road vehicles. So far, emission standards are not very stringent in this region for off-road vehicles, but as they're being introduced in the US and in Europe, we expect to see them introduced sometime the next year or the year after that.
Okay, right, I see. So clearly some standards involved in the emissions of vehicles moving forwards. Could that mean we see more electrification of the vehicles moving forwards?
Yeah, as a result, one of the ways to reduce emissions is electrification of vehicles. We have seen a lot of engine improvements by manufacturers to comply with these emission standards. We've also seen increase in sales of electric and hybrid vehicles in the UAE, for example, and that's in the passenger segment, where taxi fleets and the government are buying a lot of electric and hybrid vehicles. When it comes to on-road and off-road vehicles, globally we are seeing manufacturers introduce electric trucks, electric buses, electric excavators, compactors, wheel loaders, and all sorts of equipment that can run on electricity, whether it's partially or whether it's 100%. Now these machines, these new electric machines, all electric machines, they're being put into operation in European markets such as Paris and Sweden. They're actually being tested there to reduce both carbon emissions and noise levels. Now if they are successful there, and I'm sure they will be, we'll see them being introduced in other markets globally sometime next year.
Okay, right. So clearly lots of exciting developments moving forward regarding the electrification of the PMV fleet. Now, looking forwards to the next 6 months of the year, what can we look forward to? What are some of the big things to look out for?
So we'll see a lot more focus on safety, both road safety and construction site safety, as accidents continue to happen both on road and on construction sites. So we'll see a lot more focus on operator training and certification for cranes, AWPs, and other equipment. We also see vehicle manufacturers offering advanced training for drivers on road. And yeah, safety is going to be one of the biggest focus areas. Secondly, we'll see a lot more infrastructure spending as we come closer to Expo 2020. For example, I'm talking about the UAE.
Okay.
Now we'll see as contractors are not interested in long-term investments, we see the rental industry booming. A lot more rental companies are coming to the market, and they are the ones expanding their fleets with all kinds of equipment. We're talking about vehicles, cranes, AWPs, and power equipment too.
I see.
And,
so, cut in there, Dennis. So we're seeing that the rental market is booming at the moment. So as a result of that, because people want to be renting their vehicles, you've got more rental companies coming onto the scene to offer their services moving forward. That's an exciting thing to look out for. And
another trend that we also see is manufacturers, obviously, to make their new models more attractive, they're focusing on total cost of ownership. And this that means they're offering better after-sales services, extended warranties, increased service intervals, and lower fuel consumption and every other features. But at the same time, we also see them offering entry-level models, which they didn't offer earlier, without all the bells and whistles, to make the investment attractive for new companies and people who cannot afford the higher premium models.
Okay, I see. And before we came on air, Dennis, you were telling me about kind of a couple of key deals that we should be looking out for in the second half of the year. Can you bring me up to speed on what those were, please?
Yeah. Earlier this year, we saw Aldar Properties. They announced that they signed an agreement with Hyperloop Transportation Technologies, also called as Hyperloop TT, and they want to start construction of the world's first commercial Hyperloop system in the UAE. Following that, we heard DP World and Virgin Hyperloop. They announced DP World Cargo Speed. That's an international brand for Hyperloop-enabled cargo systems. Even more recently, we heard the RTA, the Dubai RTA. They signed deals with Volvo, MAN, and Optare buses to procure 360 multi-size buses worth $126 million. These buses are compliant with European emission standards, featuring Euro 5 and Euro 6 buses, and they will be introduced for the first time in the MENA region. And we expect these buses, according to their announcements, these buses will start being delivered to them from the second half of this year, sometime in September, October.
Okay, so what we're seeing is buses with greater emissions regulation standards, right? Euro 4, Euro 5.
Exactly. So we see public spending on transportation going to increase a lot more. One of the reasons being the Expo 2020. And at the same time, we see them investing in very advanced vehicles and that are compliant with Euro 5 and Euro 6 and being introduced for the first time in the MENA region.
Okay, well, very clearly, very exciting stuff to be going on. The introduction of new vehicles in the MENA region is an exciting time, Dennis. Thank you very much. Well, you've been watching Construction Week in Focus. We hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe and share it with all of your friends online. We publish new episodes every Tuesday at 9 AM. Until then, thank you for watching and goodbye.